Measurement automatically improves performance. Public measurement and recognition, posting of results, automatically improves performance again. And when we measure our goals and our performance down to the micro, down to the hour instead of the day or the week or the month, this improves performance even more. The great Charles Schwab became Andrew Carnegie's right-hand man by improving productivity in Andrew Carnegie's steel mills, Carnegie being one of the very first billionaires in American history. And Charles became and earned his reputation and earned his spot as Carnegie's right-hand man by writing a productive number ranking the productivity of the shift that was leaving on the floor, on the mill, on the factory floor in chalk. Big 8-foot number. Could be a 9, could be a 9.5, could be a 6.5, written on the floor in the mill, in the steel mill, for the next group of men that were coming in. The next group of shift workers would see this massive number on the floor, and they would know what their goal was. Public results automatically increase performance. And Charles had a rule that if you came up short 7 times in a row, which I think is a lot, if you came up 7 times in a row second, in other words, you didn't outperform the shift before you, the entire shift, this was a team goal, the entire group of shift workers were replaced. Fired, gone, never spoken of again. Replaced by, in his words, men that want to work. And this is an incredible concept in sports and in business that I've experienced for decades. With my pro hockey teams, my amateur hockey teams, my barber shop, my insurance agency, my consulting company, window washing business, restaurant business, I have always used measurement and public measurement and micro measurement, those 3 things, to separate ourselves in terms of competing. We've made the game about ourselves with our different businesses and our different teams, but automatically this type of measurement will improve performance where you separate yourself from almost everybody else that you're competing against. A good example is with my hockey teams, and it was one of the key reasons that we won a Barclay Cup championship in 2019 for the very first time in 24 years. We started grading the performance of every single player on our team for every single shift, every single game. And we literally broke it down and graded every single time each individual player was on the ice. So after a typical hockey game, we would play a game on a Friday and on a Sunday, and our players would return to practice on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and we had this massive white grade board, massive dry erase grade board. I believe in marker and ink. I believe in old school, impact. I'm not going to text this to them, I'm not going to send a team email that nobody sees. I want results posted in my locker room. I want individual results posted in my businesses for everyone inside the team to see. That's the point. So after every game, my 3 assistant coaches, including Marc-Andre LeBlanc, who's my marketing director and business partner for Badass Millionaire Brotherhood, we would watch the game film individually, and we would literally break down every single shift of all 21 players that played in the game. And each of us would grade every player and every shift individually with comment. And at the end of it, the coaches would send me their grades, and I'd compare them with the grades that I broke down. And at the end, I would put a grade together for every player. So it's amazing because cleaners and closers and rainmakers and champions thrive, absolutely thrive on feedback. It's like Alabama football coach Nick Saban says, average players want to be left alone. Good players want to be coached, and great, outstanding players want to be told the truth. That is a huge, huge principle. So in grading everybody's performance, we're ultimately providing the truth. Video doesn't lie. Film doesn't lie. And our players would literally stampede to the back of the locker room on Wednesdays to see their grades from the weekends. Champions love the truth. Champions love feedback, good and bad. And on the board, we would literally old school it, A, B, C, D, E, F. And we had to teach our young athletes this because in today's world, most young people have no idea about the A, B, C, D scale. So we teach them that as well. But there would be grades on the board, C+, B minus, A minus. The standards were extremely high. And with each grade for each game, there would be a comment. Something positive, if earned, and something instructional to, for them to work on in practice and start, a commitment to constant and never-ending improvement. So very interesting how when we started doing this after a couple of years of coaching and not doing it, how our team's improvement, it was what measured, as soon as we started individually measuring, we took our performance to an all brand new level. And another interesting concept was the fact that what gets measured gets done. What gets measured gets done. So we decided as a coaching staff that these are the few things that are critical to winning. And we would measure those individually. A few examples were face-offs. You have 4 centermen who take face-offs in games. We would measure every single face-off, win, lose, tie. And between periods, Marc-Andre would come in with the iPad and he would sit with each centerman who had taken these face-offs and he would show them their stats. Okay, you took 11 face-offs that period, you won 4 and you lost 7. Or you won 9 and you lost 2. And literally making them that accountable every single period. We did the same thing for physical checks, finishing your checks. We wanted every player to finish their check. And so what did we do when we weren't getting that response, we weren't getting that result, is we started measuring physical checks. The guys didn't have to kill guys, they just had to finish their check. And automatically, we set a team goal of 75 finished checks in a total game. And we made it a rule that each and every player had to finish 5 checks per game. Some guys would be at 10, some guys would be at 9, but the point of the matter was the lowest standard was 5. All of a sudden, we immediately became the most physically dominant team in our particular league. We also became number 1 in faceoffs. We were the team that always started with the puck. We didn't have to chase the game because we were winning faceoffs and starting with the puck. Another thing that we started measuring that teams don't measure, certainly not at the amateur level, is blocked shots. Getting in front of a shot and blocking it. Because we knew this was one of the 3 things that defined winning from losing. You had to win faceoffs, you had to finish checks, and you had to block shots. Nobody wants to block shots. It's difficult, it's painful, but if you do it properly, you take the force of the shot on your equipment. So we taught and trained our players every single practice how to block shots. We actually did it with tennis balls for a while, and then we did it, with real pucks, but not shooting the puck as hard. So they got technique down, and the next thing you knew, we had everybody on our team blocking shots. If you want to kill penalties on our team, you had to be a shot blocker. And we measured shot blocks. Well, guess what happened? We got up to the point where we were blocking 45 shots a game in a game where there is only 45 shots. It was almost next to impossible for our opposition to get any pucks through. And if they did, we had a first team all-star goaltender available for those shots. So we used to surrender 40 shots a game. Once we got shot blocking and measured it and made it public, all of a sudden our goal was then to allow no more than 25 shots per game against. If you know the analytics of good goaltending and good team play, it's 1 goal against for every 10 shots. It is in the NHL, even less than that. So we figured correctly, if we can only surrender 25 shots a game that get through to our goaltender, that's 2.5 goals a game that we're going to be giving up. Measuring it. Guess who had the best goals against average in the entire league for like 6 years straight? We did, at 2.5 goals per game average. Same with 50 shots. Our goal was to direct 50 pucks, 50 shots at their net. 50 pucks, 1 goal per 10 shots, 5. The average score, most games throughout an entire season, 5-2 for Perth. There were different games where it was a different combination, but most times 5-2. 5 goals for us, 2 goals against, because measurement makes things reality. Measurement makes things happen, and measurement holds people accountable. So Charles Schwab became Andrew Carnegie's right-hand man, Andrew Carnegie being one of the first billionaires in American history. And Schwab became his right-hand man and earned his trust by writing a massive productivity number on the factory floor, on the steel mill floor, after every single shift. So as that group of workers would be leaving, the new group of workers would be walking in, and they would see this massive number on the floor. It could be an 8.5, it could be, good morning, it could be a 9, it could be a 6. Whatever the number, the message was, beat that number. If you know what's good for your career, beat that number. And Schwab had a rule inside the mill that if you lost 7 times in a row, and I don't know where he came up with that, that's a lot of grace. If you lost 7 times in a row to the shift in front of you, this was a team goal, you were fired. The entire group, the entire shift was replaced by another group of men. And in those days, people were begging for jobs. Finish second or don't outperform 7 times in a row and you're gone. And as Schwab said, you are replaced, you will be replaced, all of you will be replaced by men that want to work. And it's just an amazing concept because it works in the real world. We measured everything in our #1 ranked nationally insurance agency. And accountability through measurement, daily measurement, hourly measurement, made all the difference in us breaking sales records in the home and car insurance. If you want to make 250 grand a year, if you want to make the $250,000, if that's your goal, you know the secret to making that? There is no secret. The secret is that you need to measure your productivity and your activity by the hour. How much do you need to make and earn per hour to make 250 grand? That, my friends, is the secret. Another thing is a person, I hear it all the time, well, I'd like to make 7 figures. I'd like to make $1 million a year. Well, the secret to making $1 million a year is to literally break your year down into hours. What are you doing? What's the activity that's bringing you money? And how much exactly do you have to make per hour and the number of hours you need to work to make $1 million? When you break it down by activity and by the hour, it makes it real, it makes it, you're focused on it, and it makes it reality. And nothing can get away from you then. The part that I love about accountability with my hockey teams and my insurance agent and my barber shop is that if things go south on me in business, I will know within a day or two, and I can take immediate, swift sword action. If I have a non-producing employee, if I have somebody that goes lame on me, whether it's a salesperson, whether it's a service person, whether it's a receptionist, if somebody isn't playing their game, I literally know within 1 day. And I can make a course correction, an attitude adjustment, I can meet with the person, whatever it takes to get them back on track. And that's what real coaching is. In the insurance agency, we measured everything by the day. 30 days, 31 days, we measured everything, start the month clear, everything public, everything put up on big ass dry erase whiteboards in every single office, sales and service, receptionists, measuring the 2 or 3 things that I felt were most important to be measured. So our receptionist, as example, I decided way back in the day that I wanted to capture the email of every single person that contacted us. If they phoned us, we got their email. How did I make this happen? I made this happen by phone scripting and by measurement. Each and every day they'd have to send me, and they'd write it up on their big whiteboard, how many emails they captured that day. So Ann would be 29, Carrie would be 17, and Tracy might be 11. Well, it's a clear indication, according to how many calls you take, how well a person's doing, and you can course correct immediately. You can give recognition, positive, and you can also motivate people to do better. But they know you're watching and they know you're measuring, so automatically performance increases and improves. Same thing in sales, every single sale written in hand with the big marker up on the dry erase boards, which were kept behind the door so clients didn't see them, prospects didn't see them, but I saw them and they saw them. And with my 3 salesmen back in the day, every month was an epic battle to be number 1. Every month was an epic battle to sell the most quality clients and prospects, our target market. And every day was a massive competition because we measured every single day and we made it public. Same with my service team. Service people are supposed to be, oh, I don't like to sell. Well, that's bullshit. I would script these people. They would practice their scripts 100 times, 150 times until they were so natural. It was like in their sleep, like brushing their teeth. And you should have seen the sales performance. We had 5 service reps. And in my 7 straight years of measuring their performance, not once, I repeat, not once in 7 years did one person on the service team finish last 2 months in a row. You tell me there's not personal pride. You tell me accountability doesn't work. I don't believe it. Talk to Charles Schwab about that. He played baseball. 3 strikes and you're out. In his case, 7 strikes, way too many. But those make business fun. They make your people better, and they motivate and inspire and attract the type of winners you want in your business. I don't care if you have 1 person or if you have 23 people like I did. You need to measure the 2 or 3 things every day that are most important, the critical numbers that measure your personal success. We did the same thing with cell phone captures over the last 5 years. I was like, okay, the new thing is to capture cell phones. So I want every person that ever contacts McLean Insurance, we want to grab their cell phone number. Okay, how do we do that? We set up a phone script. We practiced it 100, 150 times each, every time the phone rang. And then I tracked and measured daily how many cell phone numbers our 3 receptionists picked. And they would be, once again, you could have Tracy at the top, you could have Ann second, Carrie third, didn't make any difference. So everybody under the sun, by the way, is a competitor. If you put these type of things involved and you make it fun and you let them know that you're watching, and it automatically increases the profitability in your business. It gets rid of lack of focus, all this other BS that goes on in businesses where people are doing everything but business. It gets rid of all that because your team members know that you're grading them every damn day. So this has worked for me. I use it in the barber shop today. We time every single haircut. We grab the person's personal information, their mailing address. I'm building a list. I have a membership business. We get their email and their cell phone number, their name and mailing address. We have to checklist that they have been offered a free drink, a coffee, a Coca-Cola, a ginger ale, a water, or they can have a beer, scotch, whatever. And we check this. And then we measure the time of their haircut. In other words, we're a high-end barbershop. So unlike Super Clips and Sports Clips, these $15 haircut places, we want our haircut to be the opposite of everybody else. We want it to be 30 minutes minimum. In other words, longer, not shorter, because this is the experience, right? They come into our shop, they have a coffee, they have a scotch, whatever they want. They sit in the big leather chairs, they watch the big screen TVs, they listen to the jukebox, they play Pac-Man. You know, it's stepping back in time. I want that experience to have time. I want them in my shop. I'm selling $300 Maui Jim sunglasses. I'm selling, different gear, t-shirts and hats and cigars and all this other stuff. I want them in my shop for the experience. So we time them actually to make sure that we're not giving them the chop shop, so to speak, experience. Very, very, very critical. Also, we measure, I have had, depends on the day, on the time after the virus, but we've had up to 4 barbers cutting at one time. 4 barbers, 4 chairs. So that's really, good morning. We measure the 4 barbers and they literally compete against each other. and they compete in terms of product sales because they're scripted. How many product sales did you make today? How many product sales, because that's where your money is, how many beer sales or liquor sales did you make today? And we measure them, of course, on total sales. Did you upsell to the hot towel shave at $100? Did you rebook the appointment for next time? And did you, this is critical, did you sell them into monthly membership? Where, you know, you can be gold, silver, bronze level. We charge your card once a month and you get the different level of experience. And that makes it a continuity business, which is a game changer in the barbershop business or any business like that. So those are the things I measure in the barbershop. I post them on the wall. They track them daily. They track them weekly. They track them monthly. All bonuses are connected to those three things. And guess what happens day after day, month after month, week after week, year after year, is those three things are the things that happen every day in my barbershop. Very simple. What are your priorities? Measure them, incentivize them, monitor them, and enforce them. The part that most people don't want to do. And like I said at the beginning, that's how great companies are built. That's how great salespeople and service people and receptionists work. And most people thrive in a culture and environment like that. And it also curates and repels the people you don't want. I don't want somebody on my hockey team that doesn't want the truth. I don't want one of those guys that'll cost you a championship. I don't want a receptionist or a service worker or a sales pro. I don't want anybody on there that wants to hide and be left alone. I don't want anybody on my business team that just wants, just wants a little bit of coaching. I want people that want the truth. So you're going to attract cleaners, you're going to attract closers, you're going to attract champions, and you're going to attract high achievers. And you're going to have culture because, like Saban says, high achievers do not like mediocre people, and mediocre people do not like high achievers. So if you're going to have any kind of culture in your business, on your team, then you have to have and attract and repel and curate out all the people that you don't want. That's how you build team chemistry. You don't build it with a ping pong table like we had in the middle of our locker room. That stuff is great, but it's great when you have all high achievers, when you have all rainmakers and championship mindset people. So that's it for today. What gets measured gets done, men. And what gets measured and, good morning, what gets measured and made public inside your team or your business takes it to an all new level. Nobody wants to lose, especially publicly. And the third thing is measure down to the hour. Measure down to the hour, whatever it is. How many did you do this hour? How many did you do that hour? What activities are bringing you your best hour? What were you doing that hour? Were you writing? Were you on the phone? What were you doing? And if you do those three things, you can scale your business or your team to levels that are unheard of. Measurement makes things reality. Measurement automatically makes things happen. And measurement automatically, especially public measurement, automatically improves individual and team performance. So put up those big ass whiteboards, get out the big dry erase markers, get your people to buy in, build out the scripts, and whatever you want them to do, the 2 or 3 things that are critical for each department or person, make those things a competition. Make those things non-optional behavior. Make those things part of the DNA of your business, and just pound away. Pound the rock hour after hour, hour after hour. And you will be shocked at the bottom line results this will bring in terms of profit and productivity to your business. Remember how Charles Schwartz did it for Andrew Carnegie. Just a big monster chalk number in the middle of the mill floor for the incoming workers to see and to compete against with the upcoming shift. Within the back of their minds also the fact that, hey, I need to beat this number so I have a job to feed my family. Hey, this is the real world. This is no BS feedback, and this is how things really work against tough competitors in business, life, and in sport. If you don't have a copy of my book, you need to get one at nobullbook.com. It's less than your sugar drinks and your technology. $20 for my book at nobullbook.com. You can also get on my waiting list for my world building coaching society brotherhood that's coming up in a couple of months. I'm in the midst of a live training right now, and you can do that also below. Good morning. You can also do that at badassmillionaire.com/apply. And if you enjoy these daily videos, I do them every day. It's just me out here with a broken iPhone 7. I don't even script this. I just get up and talk. Big mouth, big money, and my dad says. And then I send the video to Marc-Andre. I don't even know how to do it. It's all unedited, all uncensored, all unplugged, and most of it's politically incorrect. And I just go for my morning 4-mile walk and talk to you and take you on a mini adventure. If you enjoy these videos, please hit that like button below, and also better yet, subscribe to the channel. And I will send you a video every single day. That's the goal. Every day I pound out one of these videos to help transform the lives of over 1 million elite businessmen just like you. And so if you're interested in that, subscribe below. That's it for today. Michael McLean, nobullbook.com. Listen, guys, 2 words changed my life 18 glorious years ago. And these are 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.